Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gopa Gopinath, Shama Kund, Radha Kund, Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Sri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Sri Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy. Text number 2. Rupam Yat Etat Avabodha Rasa Adayena Shashvat Nirvata Tamasa Sad Anugrahaya Adal Grihitam Avatara Shata Ekabijam Yat Nadmi Pada I'm sorry, Nabi Padma Bhavanat Aham Avirasam. Rupam Yadita Abhipoda Rasatayena Jasvan Nivrata Tamasad Hanugrahaya Adagrahitam Avatar Shataika Bijam Nambadni Padma Pavanad Avirasam Rupam Tadeta Abhipoda Rasatayena Shasvan Nivrata Tamasad Sadhu Sananu Grahaya Adagrahitam Avatar Shataika Bijam Yanabi Padma Pavanad Avirasam Rupam Yadetad Abhiboda Rasodayena Shasvan Nivrata Tamasad Tananu Grahaya Adagrahitam Avatar Shataika Bijam Yanabi Padma Pavanad Avirasam Please chant.
Rupam yari tadavapoda rasao danena.
Rupam etadavapoda rasodayena.
Sasva nivrita tamasa sadanugrahaya. Ado grihitam avatara satika bijam. Yadna bipadma bhavanada hamavirsham.
Rupam yadeta rabavoda rasodayena. Shashvanya ritta tamasa sadanugrahaya. Adagrihitam avatara shataika bijam. Yana bipadma bhavanad aham avirasam.
Nami Pada Bhavanadam Avir Rasam.
Rupam yaita navaboda rasodayana. Shashvan nivita tasam tamasaha sadanugrahaya. Adagrihitam avatara sataki bijam.
Adagritam Avatara Sataika Bijam.
Yana bipadma bhavanadaham avirasam.
Nabi Padma Bhavanadam Avir Rasam.
Rupam yaeta ravabodhara sudayena. Shashvan niritta tamasa sad anugrahaya. Ado grihitam avatara shataika bijam. Yana bipadma bhavanat aham avirasam.
Rupam yaditava bodha rasodayena. Shashvanarita nanamsa sadanugrahaya. Adalgritam avatara sataika pijam. Yannabi padma bhavanda aham aviracham.
Rupam yadita avabodo radosaina. Savsan nivrita tamasa sadanugriyaha. Ado grihitan avatar sataka bijam. Yana bipadma bhavanadaham avrisam.
Rupam form Yat which Etat that of a Bodha rasa of your internal potency. Adayena with a manifestation. Shashvat forever. Nivrata freed from tamasa material contamination. Sad anugrahaya for the sake of the devotees. Adal, original in the creative energy of matter. Grihitam, accepted. Avatara, of incarnations. Shata eka bijam, the root cause of hundreds, yat, that which, Nabi Padma, the navel lotus flower, Pavanat, from the home, Aham, myself, Avirasam, generated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. By the way, this is Lord Brahma speaking, addressing the source of his birth. It was Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Translation by His Divine Grace. The form which I see is eternally freed from material contamination and has advented to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of internal potency. This incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations. Now I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home. Report. The three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshvara, Shiva, the executive heads of the three modes of material nature, passion, goodness, and ignorance, are all generated from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. It was described herein by Brahma. From the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, many Vishnu incarnations expand at different ages in the duration of the cosmic manifestation. They are expanded only for the transcendental happiness of the pure devotees. The incarnations of Vishnu, who appear at different ages and times, are never to be compared to the conditioned souls. The Vishnu tattvas are not to be compared to deities like Brahma and Shiva, nor are they on the same level. Anyone that compares them is called a Pashandi or infidel. Tamasa, mentioned herein, is the material nature, and the spiritual nature has a completely separate existence from Tama. Therefore, spiritual nature is called Avabodha Rasa or Avaroda Rasa. Avaroda means that which completely nullifies. In the transcendence, there's no chance of material contact by any means. Brahma is the first living being, and therefore he mentions his birth from the lotus flower generated from the Adamam of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Translation again. The form which I see is eternally freed from material contamination and has advented to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of internal potency. This incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations, and I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home. So these prayers of Brahma are like radiant light, and they're dissipating the darkness. There are many misconceptions in Kali Yuga of who is God and what is God. And there are many misconceptions of who the Jiva soul is. But these misconceptions are completely cleared up in Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is described as just like the sun to dissipate all the darkness of Kali Yuga. And the Lord is very kind to his pure devotees. And the reason he comes is for the sake of his pure devotees and to annihilate the miscreants. And these incarnations of the Lord are also present in the Vaikuntha regions. Each incarnation has his own Vaikuntha planet in the spiritual sky where he's eternally manifest. And different devotees want to see different incarnations of the Lord. The Lord is full of varieties. Enjoyment means varieties. Just accepting everything as one. This is not actually an enjoyment. Enjoyment comes from varieties, and these varieties are manifest not only in the material world, but also in the spiritual world. And I was in Kurukshetra several years ago when Bhakta, when the one devotee invited me to his house, and he was a great devotee of Radha Krishna. He had a separate temple room in his house, and his devoted wife, very chaste wife, she was also Vaishnava, but she was a devotee of Sita Ram. So every devotee has a particular aptitude for worshiping Krishna. Krishna has many features. Just like there's one original candle, the original candle was Krishna. From that one candle, there are innumerable candles lit. And the first avatar was said to be Matsya, the incarnation of fish. And this fish exhibited Krishna's opulence of knowledge. And in the form of a fish, Matsya saved the Vedas from the water of devastation. So these incarnations of the Lord are innumerable, like the waves of a river. No one can count how many incarnations of Krishna there are. Just like in the room, there might be several light bulbs, but these light bulbs don't indicate the potency of the electrical powerhouse. The powerhouse is able to power many industrial dynamos. So similarly, these incarnations of God they exhibit a certain potency of the Lord, but these potencies are exhibited in Krishna in full 100%. And it is said that the Jiva soul possesses these same qualities in very minute quantity, but when you reach the perfectional stage, you'll exhibit these qualities 78%. And it's said that Lord Shiva exhibits these transcendental qualities almost 84%. So Brahma, he's exhibiting the transcendental qualities of the Lord up to 78%. And sometimes when there is no one qualified to do the service of Brahma, Lord Vishnu himself assumes that form. And Brahma has many transcendental qualities, but not on the same level as Krishna. But sometimes Brahma, as well as Shiva, exhibits 5 transcendental qualities, and these are ever fresh, all cognizant, never changing, Satchidananda Vigraha, and full perfection of mystic powers. So Brahma, he's very powerful as well as Lord Shiva, but still they're not as powerful as the Supreme Lord. And one who considers the demigods to be on the same level as the Supreme Lord, he's called Bashanti or atheist. So sometimes the members of ISKCON are lumped together for as a branch of Hinduism, but this is not correct because Hinduism is a hodgepodge, and it's no longer pure Sanatana Dharma. There's a lot of misconceptions among the Hindus of who is God. They accept any rascal as God. They accept rascals. So many rascals are coming from India and claiming to be God. But these rascals who claim to be God, they do not know what God is. If they understood Srimad Bhagavatam, they would know that I'm not God. I have not created this world. And it says here in this verse that God is eternally free from Maya, from material contamination. It's not that God becomes covered by Maya. God is just like the sun. The sun is eternally bright, but sometimes, from our vision, we're in darkness because sometimes, like yesterday, the sky was covered by clouds. But when the clouds are dissipated, then the living entities become happy because they can see the bright energy of the sun. So similarly, if we're always in Krishna consciousness, we could always be happy in any condition, whether in sickness or in health, distress or material happiness, pleasure or pain, because we can understand I'm not this body. My real position is servant of Krishna, and Lord Brahma, by the grace of Krishna, after pleasing Krishna by his severe penances and meditation for 1,000 celestial years, he pleased the Lord. And automatically, he was filled with transcendental knowledge. He could see the spiritual world. He could see himself. He could see everything. And by the grace of the Lord, he could have the potency to create all the living beings, all the planets, the oceans, mountains, the Ganges, everything. So without the grace of the Lord, one cannot accomplish anything. Not a blade of grass moves without the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And these prayers offered by Brahma are also devotional service. These prayers are very significant. These prayers are perfect because they fully describe the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is. When I entered elementary school back in the 1950s, all the elementary students were taught to offer prayers to the Lord. But in the around 1960, there's an atheist lady who protested because she felt offended because she didn't believe in God, and she found talks about God disturbing. So by the protest of this one atheist lady, the Supreme Court decided that the students should not offer prayers. And since then, the American education student system has been going down in potency. Nowadays, the students, even graduating from high school, many of them barely can read or write, and many other nations excel the USA in mathematics and science nowadays. So by taking God away from our consciousness, everything becomes inauspicious. Jai Shri Sigurnatai. And by bringing prayers back into the schools, by introducing all the students to Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, there could be all auspiciousness, and the students will understand who they are and what the purpose of life is. And above all, they can understand God, the source of everything. The scientists are trying to find out the origin of everything. And in the news this week, there's a group of astronomers now who have a new theory that we're living in a multiverse. They've been reading Srimad Bhagavatam, so they accept the possibility that there's a multiverse, just like we're living in one mustard seed. It's in a big bag of thousands and millions of mustard seeds. And they're also accepting the possibility that there's a non-material world. There's a world that is not manifest to our material vision, and it's far, far beyond this material world. And they're studying these ruins of megaliths, these megalithic structures that are now being studied all over the planet. They're existing in China and places like Lebanon and Egypt, India, and even in the Rocky Mountains of Montana. They find these gigantic walls with stone blocks that are so heavy. Some of these building blocks weigh 900 tons, and the scientists cannot imagine how these stones were moved and carved in such a precise manner that these walls were formed just of stones without mortar, and the fitting is so perfect that one cannot even put a razor blade between these stone blocks, and the scientists cannot imagine how this can be possible, because previously up at this time they were thinking that in the Stone Age people were uncivilized, they were not very advanced in scientific knowledge, but now scientists are discovering the Vedas, and they're seeing that in the Mahabharata there were nuclear weapons like the Brahmastra weapon, and it was as powerful as a nuclear weapon, but it was superior because it wouldn't cause collateral damage amongst the innocent civilians. Rather, it would go to a particular target and annihilate that target. But the energy was more powerful than nuclear bombs. And as far as the Vedic paradigm, scientists are now starting to accept that time is coming in cycles. And they're starting to accept these cycles of Kali Yuga, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga. So the Vedas are the source of all knowledge, and if we hear from the source in the Parampara, like Srila Prabhupada, he's convinced because he's embraced by Krishna personally, so he has no doubt of who Krishna is, because he's realized his eternal relationship with Krishna. And if we hear from such a person, we can also be free from all doubts. When we hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures or classes or even conversations, we could have an inkling, because Prabhupada speaks with such authority, because he's 100% convinced. There's no doubt in his mind who he is, or who Krishna is, or who his spiritual master is. Are there any comments or questions? Yes, Jai Krishna Prabhu.
In the purport, Prabhupada was mentioning that all the avatars, they come from Kshirodakshai Vishnu.
Yeah.
Does Lord Chaitanya also come in that way?
Donovan Maharaj may be good at answer this. some avatars come from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, for example, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Maheshwar or Shiva. But Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. He's the source of all avatars. Just like when you fly in an airplane and you're going above the cloud, you'll always be experiencing the bright sunlight. I remember the first time I was traveling to India in 2008. I was leaving from the New York City airport, and it was a very ugly day. It was sleeting. It was completely cloudy, cold. It was in December, and the plane flight was delayed because the airplane was covered by ice. So they had to de-ice the airplane to make it light enough to take off. And then when we were flying over the Atlantic Ocean, it penetrated the covering of clouds. And as soon as you penetrated the clouds, it was bright sunshine. And as long as we were flying above those clouds, there was there was no darkness. Yes, Tanavar Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Okay. Yes. Explain. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. He is the avatari source of all incarnations. Described in the song by Lord Prabhu. How the Lord is avatari. So he is like Krishna. Krishna is also the avatari, but he appears to come like from Shiva. But those who know actually, they say that Krishna is the source of Vishnu. That's a philosophical topic. Actually, there's no particular difference in one sense. We don't make a big issue out of that. But it is true that Krishna or Lord Chaitanya is like when Lord Chaitanya they were discussing or his previous birth, and different ideas were becoming forward. He pointed out that yes, in my previous life, I was a cowherd boy. I took care of cows. So there's no difference. But yes, if you study the beginning, sorry about that. If you study the Adi Lila, you'll find that Lord Balaram is the first expansion. I'll try to move the speaker so it works a little better. forms, the first expansion of Krishna. But Krishna is the original. So, in one sense, he's not, even if he appears to go through the incarnations, appears as different incarnations of Vishnu. That's not Krishna in his real sense, because he's the source of everything. Thank you.
So we can find the answer to this, as Maharaj said, in Ali Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lord Chaitanya is described as avatari. He's the source of all avatars. And Lord Shiva is in a separate category. Lord Shiva is neither an avatar nor a Vaish, but he's a separate category. So these three executive heads of the three modes of material nature are like the CEOs of Tamagun, Rajagun, and Sattvagun. So we're in the midst of the Christmas marathon now, this great Sankirtan festival, distributing Prabhupada's books. Now we could hear the latest results of this Sankirtan movement. Thank you very much. All glories to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
We will now start the Sankirtan festival. We'll read this week's book scores for the pleasure of their lordships, Sri Sri Gaunata and A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, all the Acharyas, Dharma Maharaj, all the assembled devotees. Hari Bol. This week we had 2 book distributors. One moment. All right, in second place we had Jagannath Prabhu with 1 big book for a total of 1 point. And in first place we have Bhakta Joseph with 3 Mahas, 3 bigs, and 1 medium for a total of 9.5 book points. I'll read. I only came in contact with 1 person this week who got books, but it was a nice interaction. Magadari had spoken with this man on the phone, and he stopped in with his pregnant wife, and they were looking just for a Hindi Bhagavad Gita. And I'm not sure if it was the last one, but it was certainly the last one that I could find. I looked for maybe 15 minutes in a few different places, but I finally came up with one. And yeah, he ended up giving a nice donation of $100. So at that point, I just tried to give him as many books as he'd take, and he took Prabhupada, Messenger of the Supreme Lord. He was his wife wasn't so familiar with Srila Prabhupada, and he really wanted to introduce her to him. So I thought that was a great one for him to show her. And they also took a Hindi Krishna book, which they're very excited to read to their baby when they're born. And a couple other books like Journey of Self-Discovery. And they took 2 Garga Samhitas. So it was a really nice exchange. They were very excited. And I tried to get them over here for Sunday program, but we'll see. Hopefully they can come by sometime. So Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai. Maybe Jagannath Prabhu can tell us about his experience. If not, maybe. Yeah. Okay, I hear him. Jai.
My highlight happened this last Saturday. It was right when we were leaving the Harinam, and we were going back to the car, and we ran into this Indian couple. I couldn't tell if they were, Pakistani or Indian. So I asked him, like, "Are you from India?" And he told me, "Yes, I am from India." And I I told him, "Well, that's great. We have books here for you." Like, I asked him, like, he said, I asked him, "Are you from India?" He said, "Yes, I know the Hare Krishnas." And he was like, and I said, "Wow, that's amazing." And then I said, "Hey," I had the book bag. I said, "Hey, Prabhu, we've got books. Like, here, take a look." And I showed him the Bhagavad Gita as it is, the yellow version, small paperback version, and then the Science of Self-Realization paperback version. And he told me that he already had the Bhagavad Gita as it is in the yellow version. So he said he wouldn't take that one, but he did say that he would take the Science of Self-Realization. Trying to remember what he said. Yeah, he asked if we had a temple. Oh yeah, that was another thing. He said that he didn't know if he had money, but he reached into his wallet, reached into his pocket, I think. I don't remember exactly, but he reached into his pocket, grabbed his wallet, and he had like $10 or $15 in there. And we got so lucky with that one. He said that he wanted the Science of Self-Realization, not the Bhagavad Gita as it is. So we gave him the Science of Self-Realization. He gave us $5, and we went on our way. I wish I had a card. We didn't see him this Sunday, but I wish we did. So thank you, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai.
Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.